because it's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this. So they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. First down throw, Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Stafford. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate, 41 yards. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run here with John Kelly. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Kelly to try to punch it in. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Stafford. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And this one is right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Listen to me.
Cousins on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Hey, Red! Set! Blue 60!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down.
Here we go. Single set.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Minnesota. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 69 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Cousins to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
So out now come the Lions. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Stay 50, stay 50. Set, 180. Give me radar. Big 20.
They go play action here on first down. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So that throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Set, 180.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. With that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Yellow. Where's the hot?
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. A second down throw for Cousins. This is caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They'll throw again. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He'll leave it for Kelly complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Stafford on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Set. 180.
From the gun, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back, and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Yellow.
Here's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still try to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise him and catch him off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Double right. Set. Blue 80. Omaha. Ready, move.
Operating from the gun. Stafford under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within 4. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught inside the 25. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On second down, Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
All right, now here we go.
Third and long for Cousins. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now it's Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now a handoff, Johnson, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. First down. Here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. That's caught inside the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 62 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
But think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
They'll run for it with Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and goal. Throwing is Cousins. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. DeAnthony Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Out of the gun, Stafford. Roberts has it. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll hand it off to Kelly. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
11.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. Got a 20. 55.
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
You ready? Blue 60. Hey, tag 32. Tag 32.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a 2-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat. But they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against it. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback's
back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Lions now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It's brought in left side by Tate. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And down he'll go at the 25. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The Lions on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Stafford. He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. To the air again, Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tate, the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate, 43 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
On first down, it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. Cook following the penalty. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance. And then
they got his man complete. Give him 30 yards there. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Black.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jarrett Davis leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward. That's on Lyle Collins, free agent signee who was originally thought of as a first-round draft pick. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Cousins. Looking deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Murray. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Here we go. Four down. Check. Ready? Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. What is that?
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Minnesota, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Detroit, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.